What is going on, hockey hysterics, and welcome back to another video. Being overlooked is something we all have experienced in our lifetime, and it doesn't feel very good, especially if you do something that you're really good at, or if there's other factors that come into play that make your job seem meaningless. But it's always reassuring that there's some people out there that look at the underdogs and look at the people who have been hidden in the shadows. These are the top 10 most underrated players in the NHL. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel for awesome hockey content. Coming in at number 10, we have Joshua Bailey. The New York Islanders had a dreadful year, missing the playoffs once again. They had the worst back end in the entire National Hockey League, but the forwards were actually pretty decent. The legs of Tavares, Barzal, and Andres Lee helped the offense grow. But one player on the team that always seems to get overlooked is Josh Bailey. The 28-year-old had 71 points in 78 games, collecting 18 goals and 53 assists. The only downfall for him though would have to be his defensive play, being a -20. But with a team with very poor defense, you're going to get scored on a lot. But for him to produce that many points for people ahead of him in the lineup, that's pretty good. Number 9, we have Evgeny Dadonnuff. Dadonnuff returned to the NHL this year after spending 5 years in the K. In his final year in the KHL, Dadonnuff had 66 points in 53 games. But critics wondered if he could perform that well in the NHL. This year, Dadonnuff had 28 goals, 37 assists, and 65 points in 71 games. Not to mention only taking 8 penalty minutes and being a positive 10. So I guess you could say he transitioned back very well. Number 8, we got the first Vegas Knight on this list, David Perron. The Vegas Golden Knights had a historic year, finishing with 109 points. No expansion team's numbers have even come close to Vegas's. The contributing factor for the Knights wasn't just James Neal and Marc-Andre Fleury, but also David Perron. The forward put up 66 points in 70 games, but somehow is still overlooked. Maybe he won't be overlooked so much next year. Number 7, we have Vincent Trocheck. The all-star forward for the Florida Panthers had a breakout year this year. Trocheck posted 31 goals, 44 assists for 75 points in 82 games. Although he made an all-star appearance before, Trocheck is usually overlooked because of the poor media attention in Florida. If Trocheck was on a media-based team, his performance this year would have been talked about a lot more. Number 6, Darcy Kuemper. The 6'5", 215-pound goalie from Saskatoon was traded from the LA Kings midway through the year to the Arizona Coyotes. Going from a team that had little media attention to a team who had completely none usually gets you overlooked. But Kuemper's numbers were solid as a backup goalie, posting a .920 save percentage and a 2.52 goals against average, with 4 shutouts. And that's playing half a year with the Arizona Coyotes. I mean, need we say more? Definitely overlooked. Number 5, Juuse Saros. The 23-year-old backup goalie for the Nashville Predators always seems to be in the shadow of Pekka Rinne. Now Rinne's been the number 1 goalie for the Predators for a long time, so you can understand why. Still, this overlooks how well Saros actually plays. The goaltender posted a .925 save percentage, a 2.45 goals against average, with 3 shutouts in 26 games. If for whatever reason the Predators cannot play Pekka Rinne, Saros is a capable goalie to take over. Number 4, Brayden Schenn. Now a lot of people might not think that Brayden Schenn is an underrated player, but how many people actually heard how great he was in St. Louis this year? Not many. Last year, Schenn had 55 points in 79 games, and was a -13. This year he broke up for 70 points in 82 games, and was a +10. Solid in the offensive zone and solid in the defensive zone are things that teams would want in a player. I guess the Blues are paying attention when everyone else wasn't. Number 3, Rickard Rakell. Being on a California-based team, it makes it hard to actually get noticed in the NHL. Rakell has been another player who's not been really noticed in the NHL as a strong power forward. The 24-year-old Swede played on the first line this year, under the shadows of Ryan Getzlaf and Corey Perry. However, Rakell scored 34 goals, got 35 assists, was a +6, and only had 14 penalty minutes in 77 games. Now these numbers just scream reliable player. Number 2, Jonathan Marchessault. Marchessault always seemed to be underrated even when he was on Florida. He was a very hard-working player, but seemed to struggle in the back end, being a -21 with them. With numbers like that, and then being selected on an expansion team who wasn't expected to do well that year, you can see how Marchessault got overlooked. However, this year Marchessault played at a level that was outstanding. Gained 27 goals, 48 assists, and 75 points in 77 games is crazy good. A team is always looking for a player who's almost a point per game. But the biggest number that changed from last year to this year was his plus minus. Last year, minus 21. This year, positive 36. You kinda wish he gets more recognition for his numbers. And number 1, we have William Carlson. When the Knights selected Carlson from the Columbus Blue Jackets in the expansion draft, no one really knew what he was capable of. He was posting mediocre numbers and wasn't really given the chance to show what he could really do. Lack of opportunity, really. This year, however, he showed us. Posting 43 goals, setting up players for 35 assists, and giving himself a total of 78 points in 82 games. And he only took 6 penalties all year. And he was a plus 49. Pretty overlooked for having more points than Patrick Kane, Nicholas Backstrom, and Patrick Laine, who is a contender for the Maurice Richard Trophy. Just let that sink in. So what do you guys think of this video? Is there anyone else who's been overlooked in the league? Let me know down in the comments below. If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel for more awesome hockey content. And if you really liked the video, smash that like button so I know you liked it. And if you want to see my other video about the Toronto tragedies and how to help support, click my other video and I explain everything of how to support, and I put links in the description, so you guys should really check that out and help support them. Alright guys, you have a great day.